Welcome back to the Chasing Happiness podcast, an honest podcast about finding happiness, what it really means, and the process of getting there. My name is Crystal, and today we're going to talk about this culture of comparing each other. The reason I want to talk about this is I've noticed over the last few weeks, and maybe the last couple of months, that we sort of gotten into this position more and more, maybe because of COVID, maybe not, where we're comparing our lives to the people around us, where we're comparing how they're functioning, how they're changing, how they're growing. If you're somebody who is working or living in the personal growth space, there seems to be an increase of people in this space saying, well, so-and-so is so far along this journey and I'm only here. So I want to talk about this because it's really important, especially if you're somebody listening to this podcast. You are listening to this podcast because you're looking to make some sort of a change in your life. You're looking to reduce your stress, improve your happiness, find something in your life that you can add that brings you joy or something that you can change. Even if you're not 100% sure what that is, you're looking for those answers. That's why you're here. So comparing your journey to someone else, whether they're further along on this journey of their own or not, is something that's just going to deter us. And it's also something that's not realistic, because the truth of the matter is nobody lives in your shoes. Nobody goes through what you go through on a daily basis. Even if you're married with kids, your spouse experiences the everyday activities in your home differently than you do. Even if you have a roommate or someone who lives with you, maybe they're not a spouse, maybe they're just a friend, whatever the circumstances are, these people may be in your day-to-day life, but they're experiencing life differently than you, even though it's the same set of circumstances. Part of the reason for that is because of our perception, how we grow up, the things that we learn about life. But part of it is just people adapt differently at different times in their lives based on circumstances that they go through. So if you're someone who's working to make yourself a better version of yourself each day, and you're comparing what that looks like to someone around you, you're going to feel sort of defeated because maybe they are further along on the journey, but maybe they have less things in their life that have stopped them from getting to where you're looking to go. Maybe they have a different set of circumstances that enabled them to start this journey before you did. One of the things that I've done over the last 5-10 years, as I've slowly been doing this for myself, is I've started to surround myself with more and more people who are like-minded, who think similar to what I do, and people who challenge my beliefs, people who think differently than I do, so that I'm constantly evolving and changing and growing. And in that process, when I find myself looking at someone else and comparing how far along in this journey they are versus where I am, I remind myself that I didn't start this journey for myself until I was in my 30s. So of course, comparing what that looks like to somebody who's in their 20s, in their 40s is going to be different. But also my life circumstances were different. How I've had to figure this all out has been different. I haven't always had teachers to show me the path. I've had to figure some of these steps out for myself. So you can't really compare who you are and where you are in your life to someone else. Because the truth is, each one of us is going to have a different story. Each one of us is going to have this path laid out in different bricks. We may all be sitting on the same lake, living through this COVID-19, trying to figure out how to function with the kids home and spouses home and everything else that's going on. But we're all in very different boats. Some of us have yachts with lots of resources, and some of us have little rubber dinghies that are patched together with duct tape. So don't get caught up in the comparison, whether it has to do with your personal journey or just everyday life. Because the truth is, we are all very different people. We're going to learn different things from these journeys that we're on. You are exactly who you are meant to be in this moment. The universe has put you where you are for a reason, for a lesson to be learned or an experience to be had. And if you're too busy comparing where you are to someone else who's maybe a little bit further along or even further back than you, then you're going to miss out on that experience, on that lesson. So rather than compare yourself to the people around you. Send them love and light. Be happy that they are where they are. Learn the lessons that you can from them. Teach them the things that you know that maybe they don't. And just be happy for one another. Be happy for where you are in your journey, because who you are today isn't who you were 6 months ago. You are here listening to this podcast because you want to create a better life, whatever that means to you. And your idea of what a better life is going to be very different than someone else. So keep focused on what your goals are. Keep focused on the things that are important, that matter to you, and don't compare your journey to anyone else's, because yours is meant to be uniquely yours. I hope you guys have a great week. For all of you who are celebrating, it is a long weekend here in Canada, well, in certain parts of Canada. So happy Civic Holiday to those celebrating. And I wish you all nothing but love and light and a fantastic week to come. I will chat with you guys next week. Bye for now.